We are in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we're having a blast because we're doing stuff that you don't normally think about when you think about Vegas.
We're checking out something new.
We didn't just come to Vegas by ourselves, we brought some friends.
These guys.
Hopefully you saw our travel day nightmare when we were on our way to Las Vegas. We wanted to get all that negativity and crap out of the way so that we could share the good stuff with you.
Yeah, even though it was super hot, we still had a lot of fun. We did a lot of cool things, even did some things to cool off.
And we did a lot of things, especially in the beginning, that aren't your typical Vegas touristy stuff.
So one of the things we did in Vegas that is definitely not Vegas-y was scuba diving.
We took a brief introductory crash course, not the way you normally do it when you are learning how to scuba. We really did this for an upcoming TV show, RVing in the USA, that's coming up at the beginning of 2022. Phil and Stacy were still traveling with us too, and this was something that has been on their bucket list for a long time. The day before we were gonna go out on Lake Mead, we went over to the home of Desert Dog Diving, aka Bill, and his wife Marcia, to get fitted for our diving suits and to fill out the waivers and just get familiar with each other.
I'm a TDI, SDI instructor, and I teach everything from very beginners to all the way to rebreathers.
Even though it's 120 outside in the air, the lake water is still really cold.
But, yeah, but trying on those wetsuits in 115 degrees was,
in a garage
was a little tough to do.
Yeah. I'm a little offended by the XXL sizing,
But I'm the same size, so I hope you're not going commando because I got to try that out.
Turn around, Phil. Let's do a twirl. They were super nice, and we felt comfortable just even after spending a couple of hours with them.
Yeah, really cool people.
Yeah, definitely. So we knew we were going to be in good hands.
So the next day we headed out to Lake Mead Marina, and that is technically inside a national park.
This was actually the nation's first national recreation area. So you didn't know that?
No.
Oh. First and largest of the national parks or national rec area. So that's pretty cool. And we'd never been on Lake Mead before.
If you're not familiar, Lake Mead is the giant lake that was created when the Hoover Dam was built.
We got to Lake Mead Marina and it looked really nice, even though we were melting because it was super hot.
When the fog gets dark and heavy, part the clouds and let it shine.
Oh my goodness.
Feed me!
Oh.
They're eating Harold.
It looked really nice. There's a restaurant there. There's a shop with snacks and whatever necessities you might need. And they do kayak rentals, canoe rentals, boat rentals there.
A lot of lake stuff.
Yeah, a lot of lake stuff. So it looked nice. And then we found Bill and Marcia on their boat. With them was Kirk and Kirk's wife Demi. And so those four were taking us out for the day and showing us the ropes.
Kirk, yeah. Kirk, nice to meet you.
Phil.
Nice.
Chad.
That we have
Kirk.
cameras.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Tara.
I see that.
Nice to meet you. And they put up with us with all of our cameras, so we want to say thank you.
Yeah. We're not fun to hang out with sometimes because we film everything and we have a ton of cameras.
It's true.
So as Bill was driving the boat out to where we were going to do some scuba stuff, he taught us a lot of things about the lake.
Yeah, we learned a lot about the history of Lake Mead, which was really cool.
And the building of the dam. There's still a lot of construction things underwater there that they can go dive.
In 1928, President Calvin Coolidge signed the bill authorizing the building of the Boulder Dam. Of course, it was changed to Hoover Dam when President Hoover was in office. But there's a lot of history of that area that starts prior to the dam being built.
They started building the dam in 1930s, and it was finished by about 1933, 1934, somewhere around in there. It was a marvel. It was just genius kind of work. They had to make tools to do what they needed to do.
Yeah.
So they left a lot of the stuff that they couldn't take with them, like the concrete that they had to make. They left it. We have the aggregate piles, and they have tunnels underneath the aggregate piles. Now, if you're properly trained, you can go through the tunnels, but if you're not properly trained, you cannot.
I think I would freak out.
We're going diving.
So we got out to the dive spot and anchored off and all that good stuff. And the first step in acquainting ourselves with this new thing is to just jump in without all the gear, just the wetsuit and the flippers. And you had a little trouble with that.
I was not good at just that part. I'm gonna give anything a shot, right? I'm gonna try it. I was not nervous on the way out there. I had a little bit of anxiety just because it's the fear of the unknown, right? And we're going underwater, but all of us were nervous about it. But I was not really scared. And then I jumped in the water with these flippers on, and I could not control myself. I was like I was pedaling a bicycle with these flippers on, and I could not maintain my head above water. I couldn't relax, and I kept sinking. Bless Bill's heart, because he was so calm and so patient, and he was determined to get me comfortable with all this.
Was that your first time with flippers?
Do you not remember our honeymoon?
Oh yeah, well yeah, so how come you had such a hard time?
I had a hard time then too.
Not as bad as this time.
Well, it was pretty bad. I just didn't let you know about it then.
Oh, because it was on our honeymoon?
Yeah. Phil and Stacy and Chad all did fine, and everybody's swimming around and showing off and making me feel like a loser. And then it was time to get everybody ready to actually do the scuba. And Bill was still determined that he was gonna get me to be okay with all of this. And I had already made up my mind that I wasn't gonna go back in and give it a try, because I was overwhelmed, not just with that, but I had some personal things that I was dealing with at that time. I had passing of my father a week prior to that, and I'm gonna get choked up, but it was something that was really hard for me to deal with because I didn't have a close relationship with him, but it was still fresh and it was still hard in the finality of it. And then when I couldn't catch my breath and I couldn't keep my head above water, it just brought all this stuff like flooding back to me, and it was too much. And I knew it was too much, and I knew I was gonna have a hard time, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I'm getting choked up now because it was a hard moment for me, but everybody was awesome. They really made me feel better about my reaction to it. I was frustrated though, because I don't like failing, but I knew it was best for me to just sit out.
Come on, dive in. Let go. Oh, come on, dive in. Let go. Oh,
And quite honestly, it bothered me more than I thought I was going to. I go into things like this. I mean, I jump out of airplanes. I'm not scared of anything. But once I got in the water with the tank and got a little bit underwater and trying to, you're just breathing through, but you're breathing through this thing, and I wasn't quite comfortable with it, and I only went down like a foot. So I am not gonna be a professional diver.
I was really surprised because you came back up and you said, you know, I don't think I have to go back down again. I'm good. I felt claustrophobic. I don't think I need to go back down. You're usually just like
screw it, I'll just go.
I'm gonna keep going until I get it. Until I get it down.
At first, a little claustrophobic. I think I'm not claustrophobic.
I am, and I think I would have freaked out.
You would have freaked out. But I went down. I kept playing with it, and I kept going deeper and deeper. And eventually, I got comfortable.
And then Kirk took you down too, though. And Kirk was really helpful, and I think made you feel more comfortable too. And I think
once more time to adjust.
Once you calm down. It was easier for you from what you were telling me.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, a lot of it is in your head. Once I was down there and relaxed a little bit and just trusted the gear, it was a lot better. Once I didn't freak out and get all claustrophobic.
Yeah. I'm not opposed to trying it again, but doing it, I guess, quote, the right way. Where you start off and you get comfortable with the equipment and learning how to use it in a pool. I think I would have been much better with that had we done it that way. And it's okay that we didn't. Bill and Stacy, they just absolutely loved it.
This was so much fun.
Oh man, that was awesome.
And they went back and they got certified and they went through Bill and they had a great experience.
Yeah, they did this whole class and course and got the certification.
Yes. Yeah, so watch their video if you want to see more about that.
So after we pulled up anchor and got all our stuff on board and everything, Bill took us around the lake a little bit. We went over by the dam and did some little exploring.
I enjoyed that part a lot. And this is another one of those lakes that's huge, but it was really neat to hear more history, learn more about the dam, see it from that perspective. We really recommend Bill and his team at Desert Dog Diving. If you are interested in learning more about scuba or getting your certification, check them out. If you do, tell them that you heard about them from Changing Lanes, just because we think that they are awesome.
Another cool off-the-strip thing that we did while we were there, because that was kind of our goal, was the Neon Museum.
Oh my gosh, I've seen this place in multiple TV shows and movies and stuff, and I've always wanted to go there. So when we had the opportunity to go there, we were like, heck yeah.
And these guys are here too.
Hey, right. Go figure.
Come to the boneyard and run into them.
And it was really neat because we got to go there before the museum opened. So
private tour.
Yeah, and it was cloudy that day, so we didn't have the sun just beating down on us.
It was still hot though.
It was still hot, but it was much more tolerable when the clouds were covering the sun.
We got lucky. It's cloudy and it's only like 93, which sounds funny, but that's 20 degrees cooler than it's been. We might need jackets by the end of the day. I do feel a little chill in the air.
You could feel the history when you're walking around.
Yeah,
these
old
signs.
Old signs with the giant like incandescent bulbs. And this must have been a lot to power. We're here before they open to get a private tour where we can actually film, because normally you cannot film here.
We can't wait to come back later on, like closer to evening, and see them with the lights turned on. That's gonna be really cool.
It's so neat to see these iconic signs like the Stardust sign right here.
Or this one.
The Sahara sign. We have this giant hard rock guitar right there.
It's really cool. You can feel the history in this place. This is awesome.
As a World Series of Poker fan, I really like the Binion's horseshoe sign on the other side of it.
I was like, what's that? What's Binion's? What significance is that?
We have general admission during the heat of the day. That starts at 3 o'clock, because obviously this is a wonderful day to be here. The sun is not beating down on us. It's about 10 degrees hotter in the yard during the day because of the chaff and the metal signs. But our guided tours start around sundown and they last about 45 minutes. And we start over here at the 1905 Golden Nugget sign, and it tells the story of Las Vegas, how it came about, how it was founded as a railroad town, and then the stories of the signs themselves and how they functioned as art and architecture, as well as tell the stories of the people behind them. For instance, the Moulin Rouge was designed by Betty Willis, who also designed the Welcome to Fabulous Las Vegas sign. That's a great story right there. Moulin Rouge was born, and it became very, very popular, and they had a show they called the 2:30 show, I believe, and the Rat Pack would actually go there and perform and close the place down. So Frank and Sammy and the whole gang would go and entertain, and it was a real hot spot, but unfortunately it closed after about five months. Luckily, we have the sign. That sign is from 1955, and when we redid some of the neon on it, we discovered that some of the neon was still good from 1955. So we didn't have to replace all of it. So if you come at night and you see it, or you see shots from it, the neon that glows more pink is the new neon, and the neon that glows more red is the old neon.
Oh, that's cool. We definitely want to try to get back here at night.
We were founded in 1996. The companies didn't own the signs. They leased the signs from the sign company. So it's like we're going out of business. They come take the sign, put it in the boneyard, and then repurpose pieces of it. So that's why we call this the Neon Museum Boneyard. But we've been in this location since 2012.
You can also go there at night and see the signs lit up, which we did, and you'll see in part 2.
After the Neon Museum, we were hungry, of course.
Yeah.
So
We're always hungry.
I know. We popped into the Peppermill restaurant, which may look familiar to you because, again, it's been in several movies and TV shows, and that was pretty cool. And then we still had some time to kill until our next appointment, and we decided we were just going to go to the iconic "Welcome to Las Vegas" sign
Again,
and get some pictures.
Something I had never seen before.
I know. And the line there, it reminded me a lot of the line to get your picture taken at the southernmost point in Key West.
Yeah.
Where people just wait in a very long line to get their picture taken. We did it too.
Yeah.
So check out this line just to get your picture.
I'm not really sure what that sign means. It's kind of strange. Our next stop in our itinerary that day was the South Point, which was a big casino there that I had never seen or been to because it's not on the Strip.
Right. This is a great place that locals like to go to because it's right off of the 15, and it's also a place where a lot of people come in from California because it's right there, it's right off the highway, and you don't have to fight with the Strip. And the prices are really good.
That's the big thing.
Yeah.
I think it's not priced like the Strip.
Yeah, it's a humongous property, and there's so many really cool and unique things about South Point. I had no idea this existed in Las Vegas.
It was amazing. It's like,
so
they'll build
cool.
anything in Vegas.
We had the good fortune to meet Ryan Growney, who is the GM of the South Point, and he shared with us some of the history of the casino.
Took us on a tour.
It took us on a tour, and it was really awesome. Super personable guy.
Oh.
Really, really cool. I mean, this guy's meant to be on TV.
Yeah, he's comfortable on camera.
Yeah.
Probably the neatest thing about the South Point is there's a lot of casinos on Las Vegas Boulevard. Those, we call them destination properties. People from all over the world come to visit those properties. And then you have local casinos, and they have certain amenities, bowling centers, movie theaters, bingo, inexpensive dining. And we have the best of both worlds. So we have 2,163 hotel rooms. The local customers, they get that big hotel feel experience with all the different amenities, 11 restaurants. And then the destination people, they come here and they get the destination feel, but then they also get the benefit of having a better offering from a local gambling standpoint, because the locals, they want a better offer when they're gambling. So it's just a beautiful hybrid that we've kind of built here.
One thing that really makes this place stand out from the Strip, or really anywhere, is it's the largest indoor equestrian center in the United States.
Full-blown equestrian center like you would not believe. And they have a full-blown bowling center.
Yeah, they're both amazing.
There are a lot of arena equestrian centers across the United States. There's never been one hooked up to a hotel and casino. 4,600 seat main arena, 2 additional competition arenas, and then an outdoor practice and an indoor practice arena. And we have a vet clinic on site.
It's amazing this is all under here.
Farrier's area on site, a feed office on site, 1,200 climate control horse stalls, and you can participate in everything that I just described and never go outside, which makes it nice in Vegas because now we can use it all year round. Right down here is our indoor practice arena. 1,200 horse stalls. Every event is very, very different. We haven't found a horse show we cannot handle based on our setup.
What I think is cool is that you kind of forget that you're in Las Vegas when you're, you know what I mean? Like you're wandering around in the equestrian center and you feel like you're somewhere else.
You scratch my head.
Yeah, no. I might give you a carrot.
Yeah, scratch my head. Yeah. Give me a carrot.
Then we got to see this super cool bowling center, which they do tournaments, so they have a full-blown bowling tournament facility.
We built it for USBC Open Championship, which is what's going on right now. If you can handle this event, 52,500 bowlers over 5 months, you can handle any bowling tournament in the world. So we built it to their specifications, and now any other tournament that comes in, TAT, True Amateur Tournament, ABT, we have done the PBA, the World Series of Bowling, ESPN event, we've done that here.
The main tournament lasts for 5 months straight.
It's a long
5 months straight. I know.
I didn't know
crazy.
bowling tournaments were that long.
I know.
My bowling experience is just, you know,
No.
drink a beer and roll it down there.
Right, and hope that you knock some pins over.
Yeah.
Woo! I'm slamming them tonight. You guys are dead in the water.
But they also have a bowling center for guests and for, you know, if people just want to come off the street and they want to bowl, and prices are really, really good for that. Now, when we were there, because of COVID and the tournament going on, the Publix bowling center was not open to the public because they were spacing people out for the tournament. So check online and see if the bowling center is open just for the regular public or not.
Yeah, they've
I'm
got
not sure what it's
64
like now.
lanes.
Yeah.
So, you know, it shouldn't be too hard to get a lane if you're not there during a tournament.
And of course it's Vegas, so there's booze and food and, you know, all kinds of stuff and state-of-the-art equipment and all this stuff, and it was just the coolest. It made me want to bowl. We haven't bowled in a long time.
And speaking of food and entertainment, they have 11 restaurants on site there.
Oh my gosh, we had the privilege of dining at their steakhouse, the Silverado Steakhouse.
It was good.
Thank you, Ryan, for our dinner because it was amazing.
It was really good.
That was one of the best meals we've had in so long.
Melt in your mouth, filet mignon.
Ooh, I'm hungry.
Yeah, what
look
time
at Daisy look, she could see that we're excited and she's
melt in your mouth, filet mignon, Daisy.
She was sleeping and then we started talking about food and she's licking her lips. No joke.
Daisy loves filet.
Look, she got a bath.
She loves filet mignon.
You guys never see her clean, so look, there she is.
No, you don't know what filet mignon is and we wouldn't give it to you, but you would love it.
She's licking her lips, just thinking about it. Next up in our off-the-strip Vegas tour is the Mob Museum.
This place is cool.
Cool. Another thing that I really had no idea even existed until this trip. Yeah, I like the history of mob stuff.
Yeah, and the old Prohibition era, speakeasy-ish kind of vibe.
We had another opportunity to tour the Mob Museum before they opened to the public. But because of that, we did breeze through it kind of quickly. You can spend, I think, an entire day at this place really seeing everything that they have to offer. The Mob Museum is located in the building on Stewart Avenue in downtown Las Vegas, and it opened in 1933 as the U.S. Post Office and courthouse for that area. We met with Claire White, who is a representative of the museum.
So here at the Mob Museum, it is our mission to help interpret the history of organized crime and law enforcement and its impact on American society.
It's always really awesome to be able to have a tour guide to explain things to us and explain to us the significance in what we're looking at. So thank you, Claire, because that was really great to have her there.
Yeah, definitely.
The Mob Museum opened in 2012, but the building that we are standing in is much older. It operated as a courthouse for a number of decades. In the 1950s, it was the site of one of the U.S. Senate Kefauver Committee hearings to investigate organized crime, and that actually took place right here in this courtroom where we are standing.
While the hearings produced few indictments or arrests, they did bring the problem of organized crime to national consciousness. Americans had invited the mob into their homes and were not happy with what they had seen.
Then in the early 2000s, the federal government was ready to get rid of this building. We no longer needed this courthouse and post office.
The feds sold this property to the city of Las Vegas for $1.
Yeah.
It's a deal.
Yes, but they stipulated that it had to be preserved as a cultural center or some type of museum, preferably. And a lot of the furnishings in that courtroom are original. It was the idea of then Mayor Oscar Goodman to make the museum a mob museum.
He was a lawyer for the mob.
Yeah, before he became mayor, he had ties to the mob. And he actually made appearances in movies like Casino.
Which completely absolves Mr. Rothstein from any wrongdoing. I'd like this marked,
Pardon
Mr.
me,
Chairman.
Counselor, before you continue.
No, I want to have this marked.
There are 3 floors to the mob museum. The 3rd floor is super interesting, and it goes through the birth of the mob and how Vegas got its start as a town and prohibition.
This area is all about early Las Vegas before the mob, so from the time the city was founded in 1905 until the 1930s.
One of the most interesting pieces in the museum, in my opinion, was the St. Valentine's Day Massacre wall. The actual wall.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
With the bullet holes and everything.
Yeah.
The red stuff around the bullet holes is just paint, so don't freak out about that.
They've cleaned the wall.
The museum did not put the paint there. It was there, I guess, when they got it. These bricks, this wall, is the actual wall where the 7 men were shot dead.
Yeah, that's crazy. February 14th, 1929, 7 members and associates of George, quote, Bugs Moran's bootlegging gang were lined up against the wall and shot dead inside a garage at 2122 North Clark Street.
But no one was ever prosecuted.
Isn't that crazy? 7 people lined up against the wall and shot dead. Nobody's in trouble. Go down one more level is the crime lab, which we didn't get to go.
I know, we didn't get to see it. It was kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
I definitely want to get back there because that sounds really fun to be like CSI, you know? And then
the basement.
The basement's super cool. Oh my gosh. It's a speakeasy.
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
What's the password?
Password.
Budweiser.
Nope.
And the neat thing about it is they try to stay true to the era, and you get a password online, which we'll put a link below so you can see that. So underneath the Mob Museum is this speakeasy called the Underground. They're not open in the morning, of course, but we are going to come back and we're going to get a specialty cocktail or 2, and they distill their own moonshine. How cool is that? Chad and Phil and Stacy do get back there later on, and you'll get to see that in part 2 of our Vegas adventures.
Next up that day, we headed out to Boulder City.
Boulder City was actually a town built for the workers who were building the then named Boulder Dam. And it was about 25 miles away from Vegas.
Yeah,
so it took about 30 minutes to get there, no big deal. And our first stop was, of course, lunch because we were all starving.
Of course.
For a small fee, Zoltar will tell you more of his secrets, and wisdom is priceless.
Just filled our bellies at the Coffee Cup Cafe.
I am so full.
I'm not.
Ready for a nap.
I'm pretty good about my food choices.
I was not. I got the heart attack hangover.
We decided to check out the Boulder Dam Hotel.
That damn hotel.
That damn hotel. It's not just a hotel that has a bar and a restaurant in it, but it also has a free museum that you can walk around and get history of the hotel and of Boulder City. And you can also take one of those little audio things and you get to walk around and you hear the little audio tour. And it was just neat. It just gave us more background on the history of how the Boulder Dam was built, which Boulder Dam, Hoover Dam. But it was really neat.
Yeah, and again, it's more off the strip things to do in Vegas. There's so much to do there when you get away from the strip.
The sole reason for Boulder City was because there was a need to house all the workers contracted to build the Hoover Dam on the Colorado River from 1933 to 1947. The town was designed to house approximately 5,000 workers, and the status of those workers on the Hoover Dam was actually reflected in their house sizes and the location of their housing. So that was interesting to find out.
Oddly enough, with its proximity to Vegas, alcohol was prohibited in this entire town until 1969, which was well after the dam was done being built.
And actually gambling was as well, and still is. Boulder City is one of 2 cities in the whole state of Nevada where gambling is not allowed. After walking through the Boulder Dam Hotel, we walked around a little bit more, popped into some of the shops there. Look at that.
They're slowly working their way over to slowly attack the children in the playground.
Have you ever been to a neighborhood park with bighorn sheep? Just hanging out by the tennis courts. That's so funny.
That I've seen so far here.
And then that was it for our off the strip Vegas tour, I guess. And it was time to go onto the strip.
You gotta go to the strip.
Gotta go.